A very good evening from a once again very warm Super League HQ for the second Sunday in a row. Just me on my own tonight, so it should be a fairly quick episode, but still plenty of excitement to go through. We have to say congratulations again to Haggis Hunters, who last time out Thursday night they claimed their queue. Fulchester have reached the 40-point mark. They're all but there as well, 10 points clear of Loco. We have just 4 games of the regular season remaining, and quite an exciting few fixtures we have left as well. Will it go all the way to the last game again? I'm sure for at least one space it certainly will. But for the time being, again, congratulations, Haggis Hunters. First team to qualify for this season's playoffs. Let's say some quick hellos. So I saw Greavesy, he was first in the chat tonight. Hello, Duggan. Hope all is well, or at least as well as can be. Your request to go early has been noted, and Ghost Game permitting, Dragons versus Churchtown will be first. Evening, Rob, who suffered the technical glitch that so many of us fear that we're going to whenever we try and do anything live. I'm sure it will work next time, pal. Even Mr. Edwards, who posted a really nice video live from the beach. Always great to see content being created from all of the clubs. Evening, Steve. Thank you for sorting the stats out tonight, mate. Good to have them back. Who else we got? Evening, Dimble. Haggis are massive. And Tato Mourinho, the star of a 4-book series, is with us as well. Good to have everyone with us. And if you are just watching along and aren't in the chat yet, then good evening to you as well. So as said, Ghost Game permitting, we are going to start with Dragons. Had the request due to personal circumstances at Dragons HQ. Last time out, they beat Sloths 2-1. That sees them 9th in the table. 5 points between them and Devils. Every game feels like a cup final at the minute for Dragons if they're going to maintain any sort of playoff push. Evening, Maka. Hope you are well, pal. Team news from Dragons: Bishkan out injured, and Ekiog a doubt as well. So neither make it. Saeed comes in for Bishkan with Uliano replacing Ekiog. From memory, I believe, that was the only 2 changes to the side. So Radoy keeps his place, and Dyer and Balmer continue to play out wide. More than 4. There was only 4 in the shop, Tato. I don't know too much about your series. If you're saying it's a 6-book series, then I have no reason to doubt you at all. There was only 4 in that particular shop at the time. As for Churchtown, they have a couple of absentees for injury and big absentees as well. We've got Oliver Kahn out injured, got Tomasi still injured, Kaluzhny injured as well. They signed a couple of players since the last game week. Matt Holland came in from Sloths as part of the reserve window, and Rustu came in from Halls as well. Both make the squad. Holland starting in midfield, with Rustu on the bench. They also signed Christian Vieri on loan. He replaced Luca Toni, who was previously on loan and recalled. Mad seeing the Scotch at the top of the table. Evening, Ryan. Yes, but very deservedly so with how they've been, particularly recently, seemingly brushing side to side. Haggis certainly no let up from them at the moment. But yes, Christian Vieri, the 3rd signing this week. And he is also on the bench. And it's not a ghost game, so we are good to go. With the first game of the night, Dragons at home to Churchtown. Balls deep that. And Hussein scores early, and Bruzink in 10 minutes later makes it 2-0, and already it looks like a long night. But David scores on 16 minutes. And Dragons looking to equalise quite quickly now. And there is, it's 2-2 in just 24 minutes. And Dragons look to take the lead this time. And there's goals flying in all over the shop. Hussein on 29 minutes makes it 3-2. And could it be 3-3? Dragons continue to pour forward looking for another equaliser. Yellow cards being dished out. And half-time, 5 goals in that first half. I think the ooft from Ian was at 2-0. Churchtown are going to swipe second, quite possibly if this form continues, but at half-time, it's Dragons 2, Churchtown 3. Both sides absolutely on fire with their shots on target and conversion. Definitely finishing 3-2 or 2-3. At this point, you didn't join the pre-match Super League chat. Maybe you could be the first guest on the returning podcast. Looking at the pass completion stats, very decent. Tackles won. I think both sides will be looking for improvement, but it's shocked to see Churchtown's so low at 48%, but they are dominating in the air. Last one between us finished 5-4. Looking at the Dragon stats here, Isaiah is the only player in the book. No obvious fitness concern shots. It's not having a great night thus far. Up the sloth potato, indeed. Kieran Dyer has seen absolutely none of the ball thus far, which will be something of a concern. The inform pole playing behind the front two is so influential when he's played. He's seen a bit of the ball, but his rating suggesting he's not having the greatest impact thus far. Let's have a look at the away side. Again, it's mixes of 6-7s and a couple of 8s dotted in there. Hussein continues to bang in the goals. Bruggen continues to be perfect for him. Matt Holland, around about 50% pass completion himself. Only attempting one tackle is a bit of a surprise, but he did win it. He also won a header. What a quality game, by the way. Churchtown scored bucket loads. They do indeed. We'll just wait both managers' decisions on any half-time alterations. And as perhaps unsurprisingly, Dragons, the home side, in first. Carew for Zayaleus, free up top. Draw absolutely no good. Saves. So there is the change. Night, lads. You say night already, Jens? You only just come on. At my age, I need constant reminders, Rob. So there is the change. Carew coming on for Zayaleus at half-time. As Duggan says, a draw, absolutely no use to them whatsoever. Just wait. Confirmation from Dimble. Go on to 60. There it is coming through. So that is what we will do. Pulsating first half. Can they maintain this? Both sides. Churchtown coming forward quickly. Oh, slightly early, I think. But it's 3-3. Montella's the scorer. And we pause the game at 3-3 on the clock. And what do both managers do here? Dragons have to go for the win. We know that. Churchtown, it's not like them to concede 3 goals. What does Dimble do to rectify this? I think Dragons will continue. There's no obvious change needed. And there's the nothing from Duggan. As for Churchtown, it's a difficult one to judge here. Does he move one player slightly further back just to try and stem the flow of Dragons' attacks? There's no obvious rating or fitness concern for Dimble. Does he just let it run and trust the triangle of Hussein, Agahow and Bruggen to get one more? You do feel that this Churchtown side, missing Khan and Tamazi for the same game, suddenly does not look as solid. That's no disrespect to Hedman and Mield, but they are just not like-for-like replacements. Sure, if Dragons can take the lead for the first time tonight, it would certainly brighten the mood currently at Shay Duggan, who has some illness in the camp. So a win would be much like Guerrero for Holland, Vieri for Agahowa, 2 up top. So we're going something along the lines of this, I believe. Aaron Bruggen and Central. Yeah, so there we go. So we've got Guerrero on for Holland, Vieri on for Agahowa, and 2 up top, Bruggen Central with the arrow. Let's continue this. What an opening game of the night this has been so far. And there was an early opportunity. After the tactical break, we'll slow it down. A yellow card for Bruggen. 74 now on the clocks. Hersey, Bruggen, Volodenkov, side gets in the way. Guerrero picks it up. And now Hussein over the bar. And the substitutes had to go off. Guerrero picks up an injury. And interesting, I think Mield will go in there with Mendes de Silva coming on. I'll just wait confirmation. But that's not, Churchtown do make an attacking looking change, and then they've had to actually go more defensive in the end due to availability. Not what Dimble would have wanted to see, but perhaps this will shore up at least a point for the away side. MDS and Mield to MC as expected. Let's continue. There's 76 on the clock. Still 3-3 in this opening game of the night. And Saeed squares up to Bridging because he's going to get... Oh, Saeed's been sent off! Unbelievable scenes and the absolute opposite of what Duggan needed. And, well, Saeed has not been happy all season. And now he's gone and got himself sent off at the most crucial of times. And staying as is. Dimble, you do have the chance to alter. For those who missed the early announcements, Dudley, the only side this season, according to the stats, not to have a man sent off. Everyone else has had at least 2 this season. Well, there is another one for Dragons. We'll just wait confirmation that Dimble wants to stay as is, or if he wants to alter the setup for the last 10 minutes or so. Brave move from Duggan, not moving David's back to offer a little bit more protection. And Hersey is getting a diagonal arrow. The only change for Churchtown. We carry on. 83 now on the clock, and it's the 10 men coming forward. And Sigalko. Carew picks it up. Sigalko with a great chance. Is out for a corner, which Viali manages to clear. 86 now on the clock. Well saved by the Dragons goalkeeper. And now Churchtown come forward. Can they take the lead again? 3 minutes to be added on. Is there time for a winner? In the end, both sides settle for a point. It's a much better point for Churchtown than it is for Dragons. But I'm sure with 10 men, they'll take it and just hope other results go their way. Evening Dan joined us at the end of what was a very even game. Duggan saying that's them done. Ian Edwards, good opener, class game. Proper entertainment. Dragons have been very entertaining in recent weeks, but at times to their detriment where they haven't managed to pick up the points. Slightly unfortunate. Oh, hang on, I don't think I clicked oh no, I did have match stats up, that's fine. They've been a little bit unfortunate there, but Saeed has chosen the worst possible time to prove how much he doesn't want to be a Dragon. And class game from, says Dimble. Love that for an opener. Madness, love it indeed. It's the perfect result for everyone else looking at the top 6. Hussein unsurprisingly get man of match for his performance. Hedman will not have done himself any favours in replacing Khan for the remaining games. That is for certain. Hersey, though, did have a good game in midfield. Congratulations to both sides for playing out an entertaining opener. And as I say, the result probably suits Churchtown more than Dragons. Is this the first game? Yes, it is, Jens. That is the first game done. Just think, this time on Thursday, me and Swan were still talking, hadn't even got close to kicking off the first game. So we move on to game 2, and it is Loco Boston versus the Devils. Loco without Tonetto, without Lucinov, without Veron. New signing Julie is dropped from the squad entirely. What else do we see? They added Louis Saha. They won the Saha lottery, one of 3 sides. Kirkland keeps his place as well in what is a slightly altered formation, and Saha makes his debut. This is massive, says Dimble. It is indeed. When you look at where both sides are in the table, Loco sitting in 7th, Devils in 6th. Just look at the form charts. Are Loco drifting away just at the wrong time? Are Devils going to start to find their form? Julie is unfit. I wasn't giving anything away. I just said he was out of the team, that's all. Up the draw, says Tato. Monwob, says Ian. And you can see just how close it is. 2 points, the gap between these sides. So an absolutely crucial game. Back to the team. So Vasilio Crespo and Saha, the front 2. Palermo, the man that drops to the bench. Transfer FC. I do like the look of Wade Campbell out on that right-hand side, though, for Loco. As for Devils, they make one change to the starting 11 with Bowyer coming back in to replace Wellens. Everything else remains the same. And spotting the error of the ways from last time, Cudicini is named on the bench at the expense of Ventola, who did come on in the last game and has scored recently. I think. No, did he? No, he got an assist recently in a particular appearance. Come on, Loco, up the Barrymores. This game splitting the public. That is for sure. Last time out, they had that cracking game against Northern Burn where Mpenza shot back to life with 4 goals, and he, no surprise, keeps his place at the top of the pitch. So we have game 2, Locomotive Boston against Swindon Devils. Let's see who wins this crucial match. It's certainly Devils who seem to have started the quickest. And here they come again, and Eto can't miss, but he does. Carlos has seen a bit of the ball. Kirkland with another good save. Loco now starting to come forward, but are they leaving space for Devils to counter-attack? Another good save from Kirkland. He is out to impress at the end of this season for his new club. So now he goes in the book. And still Loco coming forward. Will they score before half-time? And the last chance goes to Devils. They failed to score. Just as entertaining as the first game, but a lack of goals. Devils dominate in terms of chances created, but Chris Kirkland proving very difficult to beat. Pass completion relatively high, particularly from Devils. Tackles again low from both sides. Devils winning the majority, but only just over half of theirs as well. Headers, Loco winning just. Let's have a look at their individual play stats. And unsurprising to see Chris Kirkland there on an 8. You've got Zanoni on a 9 despite of his yellow card. Keeping Penza on, Rob, for fuck's sake. So yeah, despite the yellow cards, and only again, Saha not really doing much to impress his new fans thus far. Quick look at the fitness, nothing of real concern there either. As for Devils, 7's the highest rating any of their players have got. And Penza not seeing much of the ball, only had 1 shot himself thus far. Soroczynski, Etu and Ferguson, the other players. And Harry Kuehl, of course. Delvecchio for Scholes move up to AMC is going to be the change for Loco. No disciplinary issues and no fitness. Same hours as last week, right? Let's see if I can remember this. So it was like this, and this, I think. Just confirm that's how you want it, Rob, and I'll go back and change anything if that is incorrect. And then we've got Scholes moving forward and Delvecchio coming on for him. The arrows of death like him. Perfect, says Rob. Loco going attacking. I'm muting that chat. I'm muting the chat if Loco win. Well, let's go to 60 and see how these changes affect things. Yellow card. Fucking hell, the whole 60s went by with nothing happening. So we stopped the game, still 0-0, 73 minutes gone. And now big moment in the season for not just these two. I mean, this is a massive moment for these two clubs, but also the other sides involved in the race for top 6. Waiting patiently to see what happens here. While we wait for Greavesy, we'll click over to Devils and see their ratings. Still mostly 7s, couple of 6s. The Arrows haven't really added that much impetus yet. Still no fitness concerns. Could this be a big moment for Thierry Henry? Palermo coming on for Crespo is the move by Loco. Keeping faith with debutant Louis Saha as well. So that's the roll of the dice from Greavesy. What does Rob do in response? How much does he want to win this, or is it more about just not losing? Etu for Henry, 2 up top, Kuehl AMC. He's going for it. So Etu off for Henry. Slow this down for the last 17 minutes plus injury time. Both sides bringing on a new attacker. What difference will it make? Mpenza and Zawi and Kuehl. Still Kuehl. And still Kuehl. What a save from Chris Kirkland. Now Saha, Vasilyuk, and Saha again, Delvecchio. Campos picks it up. Palermo. Vasilyuk. Saha. And still Saha, but it hits the post. Now Loco, 84 on the clock. They get a free kick, which Petit lines up. Now Palermo gets out to Kasper Soroczynski in the way. 3 minutes to be added on. Will there be injury time drama in this game? And it's going to be Devils to provide it, maybe. Kuehl. Still Kuehl. Henry. Bowyer. Oh, and he couldn't finish it. One last chance, perhaps. Bowyer comes forward and Penza. Henry picks it up. Nutmegs Petit. Devils get a corner. There's no time to take it. And the match finishes 0-0. Saha can get to fuck. Jaws are for losers, would rather get beat, says Rob. Well, unfortunately, that makes you a loser because despite dominating in terms of chances created, yes, I think that's a good result for the shite chasing back. Who knows? That'll do, says Macca. Devils dominate in terms of created chances. Passes complete very even. Tackles won. Both sides did improve. Devils were definitely better side looking at this with the exception of the aerial battle, but they just could not score. And Penza used all of his goals up on Thursday, was unable to replicate. Zanoni, man of the match night. But look at Chris Kirkland's 9 as well. Fantastic performance from him. Let's just see what's going on in the chat. I see lots of messages. Kirkland kept the inbreds. Absolutely. Not so much chasing, more stumbling. The stumbling pack. Well played. Rob, Knight, Greavesy, enjoy catching up on the rest of the show tomorrow. 2 massive results for Dudley so far. Indeed it is. Alf said it was a nailed-on draw. Morning, Greaves, says Macca. Let's have a look at the Devils' side and who was guilty. And Penza only had 1 attempt. That was in the first half. Bowyer we saw missing late on. Soroczynski had a couple of attempts. Etu had a couple of attempts. Kuehl with the most amount of attempts, but only 1 on target. Suggestion, perhaps, therefore, that her players are shooting on sight against Chris Kirkland, and it just wasn't happening for them tonight. As the former Liverpool goalkeeper and former Northern Burn goalkeeper, well, I suppose technically he never played for Liverpool according to this game. The former Coventry and Northern Burn goalkeeper was not being beaten today. Congratulations to both sides on picking up a point. Late decision to go Bowyer over Wellens. Next up, he's just said that massive game, and well, let's see how he responds to the 2 results. As it's defending champions Dudley Hill at home to Bostock Stanley. Last time out, Bostock got beaten by qualified now Haggis Hunters. Chris the Cat Kirkland. So they changed the formation up. They keep 1 at the back. The rest of it looks quite familiar. Cece keeps his place. Live Decor and Welsh inside of Yumpio and Cafu. D'Alessandro against his former side starts next to Jacques with Ronaldinho and Torres up top. Raul, Kutsov, Prutton and Andre on the bench. As for Dudley, the only change they make is Sand and Tony swap places. Everything else remains exactly the same from their 1-1 draw with Fulchester on Thursday night. Everybody available for them. No changes whatsoever. So we go to game 3 of the night and Dudley Hill against Bostock Stanley. Scott said his side pretty much out of it now. And Dudley Hill take the lead through Robbie Keane, who scores against his former side. Dudley Hill looking to make use of the earlier results. They want a penalty not given. And it seems definitely the home side are the ones trying to score again. Bostock having to withstand a lot of pressure. Another penalty claim on the stroke of half-time. Again, not given. As I click on match stats, it looked like Dudley had dominated. Stats suggesting perhaps it was a bit more even than I thought. Bostock did create a couple of chances themselves, both sides with decent on target to attempt ratios. Much more complete passing performance from both sides. Tackles, Dudley Hill doing well. I think Bostock would expect a bit more with what they've got in that Great Wall of Stanley. They would expect more than that. They are winning the aerial battle though. a look over, and Abiati having a good game in goal. That's Joey Johnson rating a 9 at half time. What a performance from him in that midfield. Ebby Sand and Luca Toni disappointing at the other end of the spectrum. Hardly any touches of the ball, only one shot between them, both rating a 6. Scott already sends his sub without seeing the stats. We'll just have a quick look just in case. D'Alessandro really proving a point as to why Steve was happy to let him go, I think, with an abject first half performance. Alefropoulos working very hard to keep his side in this. Decor off for Raul. Go free up top as Dudley stay as it is. Decor off for Raul. Let's kick off the second half and see how that changes things going to 60 minutes. A third penalty turned down for Dudley Hill. And if Bostock come back to draw this, Steve is going to be questioning the officials. Doug Prentice refusing to give the defending champions anything. And there is the equaliser from Carlos Jacques. Oh, it's been ruled offside. D'Alessandro, of all people, offside. And we pause the game on 62 minutes. The tale so far, Dudley winning 1-0. They've had 3 penalties turned down. And Bostock Stanley have just had a goal ruled out for offside. The former Dudley Hill man, D'Alessandro, in an offside position. Again, Scott sending his alterations through without seeing the team. We will just bring it up on screen so you can have a quick look. But D'Alessandro, he's had enough already. Rating a 5 at half time, then being offside for the goal. And Kutuzov coming on for him. Great confirmation from Steve what he wants to do. Robbie Keane, Kaladze as well, possible candidates to be replaced looking at fitness. Roy Faluka and swap with Keane. Is the word from Steve. So that is the change. 62 minutes on the clock, still 1-0 to Dudley Hill. Let's see what happens in the last 20 minutes or so. Yellow card handed out to Zanetti. Raul picks it up, and now Torres. Torres goes for the corner, but gets it wrong. And the Jacques picks it up from the goal kick. Torres, Raul hits the woodwork. Ronaldinho picks up the loose ball. We're into the final 10 minutes now, and it's all Bostock Stanley. Kutuzov, Jacques, and Carlos Jacques scores! Oh, it's been ruled out again! Raul offside this time. So Dudley have had 3 penalties turned down. Bostock have had 2 goals turned down. Torres, Cafu, Kutuzov, save, can't hold on to it, but Vogel manages to clear for the time being. So much pressure now from the away side. Moving towards injury time. Are Dudley Hill going to hang on? Dede, Vogel. Jacques though. Turan picks it up. Mackay. Macker already complaining about the officials. Free kick. Vogel picks it up. And now Keane, Ferdinand. Cafu gets booked. Free kick awarded to the home side. Into injury time. Fingertip saved by Alefropoulos. Mackay hits the crossbar. And there is the final whistle. What a game this was. I dread to think what's going on in the chat. Steve loving Prentice now. Ridiculous officiating, says Tato. And I'd be sickened with that. Scott's resigning. Unbelievable scenes. Penalties turned down, goals disallowed. And in the end, a very, very even game. Ends 1-0 to Dudley Hill. After already seeing 2 results go their way, it's the perfect night really for Dudley Hill, and their march towards second place continues. Unlucky, Scott says Steve. It was bonkers. So many decisions. Doug Prentice clearly not afraid to make the calls. 3 penalties turned down and 2 goals. What a game that was. Robbie Keane getting man of the match against his former side, Abiati. Also rating a 9. So many 8s. Throughout the team as well. but Tony and Sand really were disappointing. Roy Mackay not really able to come on and make any sort of impact either. As for Bostock, also getting a 9 foot out of their goalkeeper, John Welsh rating an 8, alongside Cafu, Lee Young Pugh, Lasisi as well. Kutusov came on and was significantly better than D'Alessandro, but unfortunately for them, that just so many players in attacking positions caused a problem. A solid defensive display from Dudley, catching them offside at all the crucial times, and Dudley Hill running out 1-0 winners in another very exciting and very difficult to predict all the way up to the final whistle game. Congratulations to them, unlucky to Scott and Bostock Stanley. Next up, Haggis Hunters already qualified. They host Astor Athletic, who have nothing but pride really to play for here. Currently sitting... No, I'll tell a lie. Astor 8th, got completely the wrong team. Having already seen Loco and Devil's Draw, they now know that 6 points is the gap going into this game. So a win absolutely crucial for Astor. But have Haggis gone easy on them by resting a few players? Well, let's have a look at the both DCs out is correct. Placente and Honsho playing with the absence of Brown and West. Other than that, pretty much as was. Fifey, have you noticed that when you click randomly through the games, I still don't come up near the start, regardless of what team I manage? Do you know what? Actually, I had noticed, yes. I had noticed. So the game just doesn't like you. Or it knows that you're one of the few that actually sticks it out to the end regardless, and therefore it's worth having you on late. Either that or it thinks that you're going to be entertaining. One of those three, I'll let you decide which. A look then at Haggis, who are without Jeremies, without Viduka, without Del Piero, all suspended. And that means Alan Smith plays up front. Casas Makoku makes his debut in attacking midfield, and Helguera comes in for Jeremies. Ian saying pre-match that this has been the absolute perfect time for them. I will accept the middle option. The absolute perfect time. They get the cue and then their key players get suspended. They don't wait for the playoffs for it to happen. So good news for them. No DC on the bench. Your call, Ralph? I'm sure you must have had one. Makoku, I'm going to give him number 4 just because I can. So let's see if Astor, maybe because Pedisford starts with the letter late in the alphabet. Let's see if Astor can keep up the pressure. Absolutely nothing happening in the first 19 minutes. And it looks to be all Haggis at the moment. The half absolutely flying by. Already at 39 minutes. Oh, Rossini with a chance though for the away side. You haven't had a DC on the bench for weeks, Alf. Jeremy's on course to be suspended for the final here, says Hodgie. Half-time already happens. Apparently there were 7 attempts in that half. I certainly didn't see them, but only 1 on target from both sides. Decent pass completion rates. Haggis significantly better in tackles and on a completely different level to Astor in terms of the aerial battle. Having a look at the home side stats, Samuel having a good game, Makoku having a decent game on his debut, solid ratings throughout, a couple of 6s, Casas and Giggs having one of their quieter games for Haggis at the moment. But no yellow cards handed out and nobody even dropping into the 80s in terms of fitness yet. They are definitely playing in second gear currently. As for Astor, very similar, just a lot more 6s. 1 yellow in the final 3 rounds and 1 in the second half game. Alan Smith coming off again, just cannot get a run for Haggis. Can Alan Smith? He's not being given any time whatsoever. And slightly unfortunate given that Casas is the one rating a 6, that Alan Smith is the one coming off, but you know, keep your form players on the pitch, obviously. You don't want to be resting them for the playoffs or anything. Just wait, news again, no yellow cards for Alf to worry about. No fitness concerns either. can't see condition properly. You've got nobody below. Everyone is in the 90s except for DeVio, who's on 84, Alf. Very hard to balance suspensions in the playoffs. 2 yellow cards. It's correct, Hodgie. It is a balancing act. But this is why you're all paid the big money to manage the big clubs, to make these big decisions. Does that help you at all, Alf? You need faster Wi-Fi, Alfie boy. Problem is, Tato, he's now going to reply to that before making a decision on what he wants to do. As is. Excellent. Let's kick off the second half and go to 40 and hope for a bit more entertainment. All the other games have been entertaining so far, so I suppose the middle game being a bit quieter can be forgiven. Haggis take the leaders through Casas. Oh, no, wrong button. The league leaders now leading this game 1-0, and it is the inform man from Argentina who scores the opening one in this contest. Still solid fitness, still no discipline issues, no ratings issues either. I'd be very surprised. Role mate Mercy, as expected from Haggis. The class has comment that Steve has pre-saved. So having a look at Asta, who now find themselves behind, know that realistically they need to win. Case has to be a quality player. Keeping Leddersford in the mix, all of these results seemingly in the eyes of the storybook superhero. So yes, lots of 6s, Alf, and 7s. Nothing below a 6, nothing above a 7. In terms of fitness, to up top, Frank at AM. Are you doing anything with the fitness here, Alf? DeVio, who was the only one in the 80s, is now on 80. Pillow is gaseous, Hodgie. Scored on his debut, though. Had a very good debut. On Thursday night. Could we see Landon Donovan on the pitch at all? Or are you keeping it like that? Okay, no further alterations, just tactical. Let's continue this game to see if that helps us to get back in this. And it certainly has. Rossini has scored, and it's 1-1. And what turnaround this could be if Asta can now get a second. And it's Ambrosini. Emerson. Good save from Casillas, and he keeps hold of it. We're into the final 10. As Haggis come forward, Mendieta, Alguera, Stan, Casas. Fantastic save from Given, and he's held on to the ball. DeVio offside. Giggs now coming forward. Throw into the home side. Going towards injury time. We're into injury time. Mike Duff, Alguera. Casas. Giggs. Oh, and still Haggis can't put the ball in there. Is there one that's, oh, it's another offside. Now Youngberg. DeVio. And Haggis manage to keep hold of it. And there's the winner in injury time. And it's been disallowed. Moukoko had scored a debut winner, but it was he himself who was offside. And the game finishes 1 apiece. Both sides very, very wasteful in front of goal. Is the obvious thing to pick up from here. No corners in the game. Ridiculous. Plenty of free kicks, largely you'd guess because of offsides. Pass completion remained high. Tackles dropped. The aerial battle became a bit fairer. Campbell's bottling it. Wheels coming off. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Walter Samuel, man of the match, with his 9-star rating. Plenty of 8s throughout. Solid defensive performance, and Case has certainly improved. Santa Cruz offering nothing in the second half that Smith didn't offer in the first, and you certainly did need 3 points out, and it was an opportunity missed. As for Asta, ratings improved. There are a few 8s dotted around, mostly 7s, just 1 6 for DeVio, who struggled throughout seemingly with fitness. But it just wasn't to be for Asta tonight. And they haven't lost any ground on the teams like Loco and Devils, but they've certainly missed opportunity, having seen them all drop points earlier tonight. But well done to both sides on picking up a point. 40 minutes into the show, we're already on game 5. And it's Gazelles versus Sloths. Interesting game at the bottom here. Gazelles 25 points, Sloths 21 points. Both will feel safe now. What's that? 12 points left to get. That'll take them to 28. Burn can still technically catch both, although it's a big ask. But neither side will want to lose and get sucked into it, particularly if Burn can get a result later tonight. That is for sure. Let's have a look at the Sloth side. Kievan Pasizoglu, Nigmatulin and Cambiasso, I think could be a very good triangle. Harbuzi comes in for this one. I think it was him. Yes, for Danielson, who drops to the bench. Rakoba's dropped for the returning Solari as well. And it's Larson in for the injured skipper, Pizarro. As for Gazelles, they actually go a little bit attacking by their standards. With 2 men in support of Anelka. Pinardi and Ortega tasked with helping him. Zenda and Asamoah continue to play as the wide men. They have been quite good for the most part when they've played this season. Baronio, Boateng and Smertin in holding midfield in front of Udeze and Terry. Mourinho injured, Seedorf injured. Were the absentees for this game with Daisy close to a suspension. So we kick off this battle towards the bottom of the table. It's not a bottom of the table 6-pointer, but towards. Gazelles take the lead and it's Anelka's 10th of the season. Big goal for them, that. Widely tipped to finish bottom. A win here guarantees they can't be. Sloths looking to equalise. There's Anelka. Oh, it's been ruled offside. Another offside goal. I think that's the 5th so far tonight. And we reach half-time in this one with Gazelles winning 1-0. Both sides 4 shots apiece. Decent conversion rates in terms of on targets. Much better than the last game we saw. But both goalkeepers starving off a lot of the chances. Pass completion looks decent. Tackles 1%, quite low from both of these sides. Gazelles absolutely bullying Sloths in the air, it would appear. Decent ratings throughout. We mentioned that the goalkeepers were probably getting decent ratings. Barthez there on an 8. Anelka obviously has 1 goal, 40 had 2. Has players in support of him tonight, both playing well in Pinardi and Ortega. So this might be something that Gazelles stick with for a little while longer, depending on how the second half plays out. They have got attacking subs in Nikata and Alex, but no out-and-out game changers should they need them later in the game. As for Sloths, well, the ratings continue to look very, very average for Hodgie, unfortunately for him. Larson Amoroso just not quite able to offer. Larson's not even had a shot yet. Ortega should be set piece taken, not Seedorf. Terrible away from home, says Hodgie. I can set Ortega if you want Ortega. There you go. Just terrible. It is terrible. Sloths just can't seem to catch a break away from home. Just 1 win, I think it is. Just like Northern Burn, 1 win away from home all season. Siki for Harbuzi and Nicolidis for Larson. Double change for the away side. See if the second half offers them anything more then. Yellow card. Nicolidis getting involved. And they want a penalty, it's not given. And they want another penalty, and again it's not given. Sloths with 2 penalty appeals turned down in 2 minutes. And we pause the game on 68 with Gazelles still leading 1-0. And Hodgie will be fuming that the referee hasn't given these. Yellow cards for both centre-backs. No obvious fitness concerns as such. Players pretty much where you'd expect them to be. Smertin, the only player rating below a 7. Yakubu, Nakato and Alex warming up on the touchline, waiting for that call from Martin that it's their time to shine in this new adventurous Gazelles formation. These pen turns down are crazy. Yakubu for Smertin, Alex for Zenden. Double change for Gazelles. As for Sloths, I have a couple more 7s now, but still mainly 6s throughout. No attacking changes to be made, but doesn't mean it can't be something done tactically. Parfenov there, 77%, may be a factor in Hodgie's thinking. There has been quite a few penalties turned down, Steve, correct? The referees are not wanting to make decisions, and you would say that normally that's to stay out of the headlines, but they're actually writing the headlines by turning down so much tonight. Will we see Parfenov come off? We are seeing him come off. Throw him up front, middle of the free. Throwing a big target man up there. Straighten Rosicky up. Any arrows? Anything else, Hodgie? Shane Tolley must be seeing Valgarin go up there and thinking, well, why am I not playing up front? Yeah, like that. Okay. Let's carry on then and see what difference, see if the big target man Valgarin can make a difference for Sloths. Rosicky, Solari, Bronu gets in the way. Anelka, Ortega, Alex, Yakubu, now Cambiasso, and Yakubu again. Rosicky goes in the book. 76 now on the clock, and Alex comes forward again. Swings in a cross. Ortega! Cannons back off the crossbar. Nicolidis coming forward. Excellent tackle, but Amoroso picks it up. And Nicolidis smashes it low. Great save from Barthez as we enter the last 10 minutes. And another good save, this time from the head of Amoroso. And Yakubu clears the danger. Set the juice loose. 86 now on the clock. Anelka. Kivu does well. Goal kick to Gazelles there. Into injury time. Alex come forward. Pinardi. And it's Pinardi! And that's done it! And congratulations to Gazelles, who now cannot finish bottom this season. A big achievement for them when you look at the pre-season predictions of most. And they may not be finished yet, as Ortega doesn't have time to take the free kick. But a 2-0 win at home to Sloths, who created plenty, just failed to convert. Barthez seemingly making a string of fine saves. They also had a couple of penalties turned down. We know they had one come off the crossbar. So unlucky for Sloths. Good ratings here for Gazelles, significantly better with the exception of passes. This is an underperformance from Sloths altogether. Pinardi getting man of the match with a 10-star rating. Barthez only rating an 8 for his. Baronio, who may not have even been in the 11 at one point, rating a 9. Martin and Dan will be Gazelles in the playoff hunt then. No, absolutely not. Yes, Baronio may not have even been in the 11 at one point this week, but he had a fine game as well. Sloths did play well as a team, and that is something we say a lot about Sloths. As a team, they seem to perform well, but they have no one rating higher than a 7. Unfortunately for them, I thought Nicolidis looked like he was getting involved. I know, Pinardi 10. But it just doesn't seem to get any better, particularly away from home for Sloths. Hodgie's not found that magic formula, unfortunately, for him. But congratulations to Gazelles for the win tonight. And that brings us to, is it the M28 Derby? I think it is. Hang on, I think the tactic name says it. Oh, no, it doesn't. The title of the email did. But it is, if it is the M28 Derby or a different M Derby, what it certainly is the penultimate game of the evening. It looks like everyone can have a nice early night tonight. We're a bit toothless without Pizarro up front. You are, Hodgie, which is a shame because I really was backing Pizarro for that golden boot. M28 it is, lovely. Hippier unavailable for the derby. Zé Roberto still out, and Rayed, the latest injury absentee. So a slight alteration in tactics. Fajini keeps his place up front. Lee Chun-Soo joins Van Nistelrooy. Petkov out wide alongside Etsabaria, Mark Kerr in central midfield. Constantinu dropped to the bench. Let's just have a look at Ledesford in 10th. So at the start of the night, they were 6 points off Devils. So that's now 7. Win tonight makes it 4. We know Astor dropped points. We know Loco dropped points. Dragons as well. So if Ledesford can win, it's still mission difficult, but certainly not mission impossible. Macca's actually dreading this. As for them, just one change. Nothing in the starting 11, but Castillo is replaced on the bench by Luis Figo. I can't create anything with this side out, Macca. Petkov and Etsabaria don't create for me. Let's just have a look at the situation at the top of the table. So we know Haggis drew, so that's a 7-point gap now. But crucially, we've seen Churchtown draw, so that makes the gap 3 points. Dudley win takes them up to 37, so that's also 3 points. So Fulchester know that really they can't afford to drop any points because they've got teams chasing them significantly. Let's kick off the penultimate game of tonight. And it's Ledesford who come forward earliest. Put Fulchester on the counter. And now Ledesford trying to counter. Time ticking away quite quickly, but there seems to be a fair amount of action. Both sides having a go. 28 now on the clock. And Taibu with a fine save. And Etsabaria goes close. Buffon with a save. 38 now on the clock. Nedved and Trezeguet getting involved. Curtis and Yepes working hard for the away side. Corner kick now to Ledesford in injury time. And there is the half-time whistle. 3-1 incoming, said Macca, getting bummed. Well, let's have a look at the match stats. And that would suggest it's fairly equal. Now, this is much better. Two sides with very decent looking pass completion and tackle 1 percentages. Ledesford are winning the aerial battle and have created 1 extra chance with 1 extra chance on target. Let's see who is missing those chances. And it's primarily the new boy. Look at that. 3 with 2 on target but failing to convert. We've also got Van Nistelrooy and Etsabaria with chances. But decent ratings throughout. And there's no sign of any obvious conditional issues. No player getting yellow cards. As Fulchester, Nicky Butt is in the referee's notebook. They have got just the one player, David Trezeguet, who's dropped to 85% in that first half. Their rating's not quite as solid with a few 6s due out. Ledesford just altering the attacking lineup. Lee Chun-Soo only just back in the team comes off. Constantinu coming on. Gini and Van Nistelrooy swapping places. Sheva for Trez and Trez for Figo is the change for Fulchester. So both sides alter their attacking lines. Let's see if it makes a difference. Early yellow card there. So we approach the tactical break. Is anyone going to break the deadlock? Something happened there. 61 on the clock. We pause it. It's still 0-0. Friday, look at that. The former, if I remember rightly, yes, the former Fulchester man who found his place at Astor under Tato and then was taken from Fulchester to Ledisford with Mr. Mourinho, and he is showing his former employer what he's missing out on. Got Gallardo, we've got Paiva on the bench as well. Attacking changes available for Ledisford should Tato want to use them. As for Fulchester, Buffon having a good game, Yepes having a good game. Still quite a few sixes dotted about. No additional yellow cards. Fitness-wise, everyone's looking fine. Usually someone with low fitness if it stops on its own. Figo, AMC, arrow up. And Ledisford, Gallardo on for Petkov, please, mate. Give him a fat arrow to FL as well. Like that. Or does that class as FLC and you want it up there? Not a central arrow down the wings, no worries. Oh, it's Ficini, he clips the post. Scally and Gattuso going at it in the middle of the pitch. This part of the season is true worst. Yepes, Curtis, Perry, Vrede, the centre-backs playing amongst themselves. Tense, says Ian. Well, you're not. You've already played. You've picked up your point. You're happy. 79 now. Van Nistelrooy, Constantinou, Fucini, the front three all playing it amongst themselves. Etzeberria, but Buffon. And he sets off Shevchenko, but an excellent sliding tackle by the former Fulchester man. Final 5 minutes. Nicky Butt takes a free kick and Dye wins the ball. Perry and Scally. Etzeberria's offside. There's going to be 4 added on. Gattuso to Curtis to Beckham. Gattuso again and Yepes back out to Beckham. Palmer shows him Dye a yellow card. Taibbi catches the floated free kick. We're into injury time. Is there going to be drama? It's Ficini, Constantinou. Scally picks up and hits the side netting. Maybe one last chance as Beckham has it. Figo. And Figo up. It's a red card in injury time. And Dye's picked up a second yellow. And with 1 minute to go, are we going to see a Beckham versus Greece moment in the Super League? There's literally 1 minute left, lads. Do either of you want to do anything tactically, or are we just waiting to see if Beckham scores this free kick? Move Scally central and leave it. Okay. Maka, you do have the opportunity to change it if you so wish, with 1 minute left to play. Not for me. Perfect. And we don't even get to see the free kick get taken. It goes to full time. 0-0 is the score. Nobody chasing the top 6 is daring to actually win tonight, which is disappointing for all the managers concerned. This has been the perfect night for Dudley Hill. Frede picking up man of the match against his former side, commented throughout how well he played. Constantinou wasn't able to offer anything different. As for the away side, decent enough, not stellar by their usual standards. But, you know, as Maka says in the chat there, no harm done there tonight. Definitely though, this tonight belongs to Dudley Hill, the only side in and around it who actually won the game. So that means tonight's main event, Northern Burn versus Hull's Vikings. Can they join that list? So let's just have a look at Hull's Vikings. currently on 34. We know Churchtown now on 37. We know Dudley Hill on 37. Can Halls join them on 37? And just try and put a little bit of pressure on Fulchester. Looking below them, Devils now a point behind them on 33. Loco 3 points behind on 31. I think I've just got my cue. I think you have, Macca. I think you have. We will congratulate you in due course. But let's have a look at this final game. So what have we got? Gerard comes back in for Davis. Rustico comes back in for Campbell. Both players drop to the bench. Agat comes in for who's injured? Suspended. Sorry, Contra. Still no place for new signing Julio Arca. All about trying to avoid a loss here, says Jens. Yes, still no place for Julio Arca. And finished player, an altered name in the 24. Someone who I'm guessing isn't likely to be seeing any more game time. As for Northern Byrne, Cannavaro injured, Totti injured. However, the big news is Roy Keane is back and available after the massacre at the Devils. He comes in for Olasey, who drops out the squad altogether. No further alterations from the team. We know the situation now at the bottom. A win for Byrne takes them within 2 points of Sloths with 3 games to play. So there's plenty still to play for them. Let's kick off tonight's final game. As we're only just an hour into the show. You're welcome, guys. 26 already on the clock, and it seems to have been mostly Northern Byrne up to this point, but Saviola with an opportunity for the away side. Brozet Cole back. Seeing Mido starting to get involved for the away side as we approach half time. And it's tempting fury. Another yellow card handed out, and there is the whistle by Mr. Leatherton. And yeah, Northern Byrne absolutely dominating in terms of attacks. Very wasteful, as is their standard mantra at the moment in front of goal. Halls created almost nothing, and they may as well not have done for all the good it did them. Pass completion, Northern Byrne looking very good. Halls doing fairly decent as well. Tackles won, above 50% from both sides. But again, a side dominating in the air in the first half. A yellow for Rustico and water is wet, says Jens. Ian already going as is without seeing his stats, so we'll just click on them very quickly just so he can check the fitness of his players. As for Halls, they really need to do something. A win isn't imperative for them, of course, but they don't want to leave themselves open to the teams below them, and they want to keep pace with those above them. So it is important if we're not imperative. Diego Tristan, the only out-and-out attacking option on the bench, if that is what Jens is looking for. As is till 60. Let's kick off the second half then and see what happens up to that point. And Hall's certainly trying a little bit more in the second half, and then Westerveld with another great save. And there's the goal for Defoe to give the home side the lead. And then 10 minutes goes by with absolutely nothing happening. ZZ Roberts puts one over the bar. Northern Byrne still look to be doing well. Imar 79% maybe a consideration. Would love a Byrne win, says Rob. Well, a Byrne win is what you're getting so far. Yellow card for Okoronkwo as well, maybe in the back of Ian's mind. I'm back. The only players rating below a 7. Ian going as is. Halls then. Let's have a look at their team. A 5 for Van Bommel, a 5 for Hoffland against his former side. We saw that earlier with D'Alessandro. Players not impressing. Gerard just 79%. Right, hang on, what's going on here? Tristan on for Mido. 3 up top. give Van Bommel an arrow. Davis for Gerrard 2. So that's the look. Jens' head falling off in Crete and him going on a Sadiq terrorist. So Halls are going for it. It's only 67, but we'll slow it down now, as this is the final game and we are well ahead of where we normally are schedule-wise. ZZ Roberts was offside. Now Tristan and Roberts playing it, but Westerveld, who has to be a contender for goalkeeper of the year, surely, despite Northern Burn's troubles. 73 now on the clock. And it's 2-0 to Northern Burn. And Ian Robin has surely settled this one. Unreal scenes for Burn, who are fighting for their lives to get off the bottom of the table. Ashley Cole now. Hoffland gets in the way. Back. Rustico clears into the final 10. Can Halls give us some late drama? Tristan, Saviola. Festival for say Saviola again is 2-1. On the rebound, Saviola. And is there time for Halls to equalise? Davis. But here comes Aymar. Agat gets it though. And Saviola on the half volley puts it wide. 2 minutes to be added on to this one. We're into those two now. No. Oh, is there one last chance? Surely not. Candea. Diving header. Fantastic save from Westerveld against ZZ Roberts. And Northern Burn hold on for the win. 2-1. Injury time. Diving header from ZZ Roberts, but Sander Westerveld with the save. How many times have we seen that? Well done, Ian, still in the mix, Jens. A very even game, all being told as you look down those stats, but a massive, massive win that for Northern Burn. Ashley Cole getting man of the match. Again, it says the state of the game when a player getting an 8 has got man of the match. Again, Steve, you are right. You are the absolute winners tonight. Dudley Hill, it could not have gone better for them. Halls Vikings, Van Bommel ending on a 4, certainly not a skipper's performance. ZZ Roberts, 6, needed more from him. Saviola did well. Tristan did well when he came on. Sander Vesterglitch doing it again. Will he be considered higher up in the draft? We will soon find out, as we are now one game closer to the conclusion of this season. But congratulations, Northern Burn, for a massive win for them. And that gives us the following classifieds. We had Dragons 3, Churchtown 3, Dudley Hill 1, Bostock Standing 0, Gazelles 2, Sloths 0, Haggis 1, Astor 1, Leddersford 0, Fulchester 0, Loco 0, Devils 0, and as we've just seen, Northern Burn 2, Halls Vikings 1. That leaves the league table looking like this. And congratulations to Fulchester, who joined Haggis in achieving their queue. So we now know 2 of the 6. I'm down to 11th. God, I'm terrible, says Tate. We've all been there, mate. It can very quickly change. You're saying that now, and then if you do decide to stay on next season, you could well end up being where Haggis and Fulchester are now. But we've got Haggis 6 points clear of Fulchester, who themselves are 4 points clear of Churchtown and Dudley with 3 games to play. Halls in 5th on 34, just a point ahead of Devils, who are 2 points ahead of Loco. Astor find themselves 5 points outside the playoffs. You're starting to think now it's any 2 of Halls, Devils and Loco. But Astor, Dragons and Gazelles all on 28, I'm sure won't give up until the fat lady sings, as the saying goes. Leddersford 27, 6 point gap with 3 to play, still achievable. Bostock down in 12th, 26. 7 points is unlikely, let's be honest. And then we've got that very interesting looking battle now. 2 points the gap between Sloths and Burn. Oh, and that's a bad miss for the chasing pack. Let's have a look at the upcoming fixtures. Thursday night, I'll definitely be here. Hopefully someone will want to join me on Thursday night to look at Astor versus Dudley, Bostock versus Leddersford, Churchtown versus Devils. Huge game that is. Dragons versus Gazelles. Fulchester Burn. Could you imagine if Northern Burn really do stick the spanner in? Halls against Loco. What a game that is as well. And Spartak Sloths entertaining Haggis Hunters. Fucking hell, no easy games. There's only a couple of games left. What else have we got to go? Anything jumping out? Halls Devils. This time next week. Very interesting looking game that. Loco against Fulchester as well. Could be huge. And then on the final day of the season, the current teams still in the, that we're really looking at. Astor at home to Burn. Loco away at Bostock. Dragons Dudley could be interesting. Devils Fulchester on the last game of the season as well. Gazelles may well still be in the mix and might need to get something against Haggis, who may have won the League Leaders Shield by then. Halls against Churchtown, absolutely huge game. The final day of the season is certainly going to be interesting. But, an hour and 10 minutes is all it took tonight to get through these 7 games. Thank you very much for your company this evening. As I say, you've seen the fixtures Thursday. If you are interested in doing some co-coms, there's only a few opportunities left this season. Let me know. And of course, there will soon be announcements on what will happen with the future of the Super League. But we want to make sure this season gets all the respect it deserves and concluded properly. Thank you very much for your time. Until Thursday, good night.